Cutting your grocery bill isn't about sacrificing nutrition, settling for inferior products, or living in a constant state of denial. The real issue lies elsewhere, in the invisible forces that shape what ends up in your cart. Supermarkets leverage sophisticated design principles, your mental exhaustion works against your wallet, autopilot behaviors drain your budget, and the pressure of rushed decisions compounds the problem. The solution doesn't require suffering. A handful of strategic shifts in your planning approach, shopping behavior, and mindset can dramatically reduce what you spend on food while preserving your well being, self respect, and quality of life. Establish a hard spending cap before you walk through the doors. Supermarkets function as precisely engineered persuasion machines. The ambient lighting, strategic floor plans, background soundtracks, and calculated product positioning all work in concert to encourage continuous additions to your basket without triggering any internal alarm bells. Without a predetermined financial ceiling, your mind essentially gives every potential purchase a green light. There's no mental tripwire indicating you've gone too far. Individual items appear modest and justified in isolation, particularly when measured against other daily expenses you manage. The true weight of your spending only reveals itself at the register, at which point reversing course becomes socially awkward and practically impossible. Establishing a concrete dollar limit before entering transforms your entire shopping psychology. It converts your mission from gather everything that seems appealing to choose what matters most within constraints. This shift automatically eliminates frivolous additions. The act of choosing demands ranking priorities, and that ranking process exposes the difference between genuine necessities and behavioral patterns disguised as needs. Grocery savings don't start at the checkout. They start the instant your brain knows exactly where the finish line is. Bring a shopping list, but make it adaptable rather than absolute. Arriving at the store without any written plan surrenders control to whatever catches your eye and whatever impulses surface in the moment. Visual merchandising replaces intentional decision making. However, the opposite extreme, clinging to an inflexible, hyper-detailed list, introduces its own problems. When specific items are out of stock or priced unexpectedly high, that rigidity generates stress. Stress breeds frustration, and frustration often triggers compensatory spending as an emotional outlet. A list that allows for flexibility delivers the best of both approaches. It provides enough framework to prevent you from forgetting essentials, while simultaneously permitting intelligent substitutions when circumstances demand them. The ability to swap in cheaper or available alternatives keeps your logical mind engaged rather than handing control to your emotional state. Emotional purchases are where grocery budgets silently hemorrhage money. A structured yet adaptable approach saves considerably more than rigid discipline ever manages on its own. Never shop when your stomach is empty or your energy is depleted. Physical hunger fundamentally alters your perception of food products, transforming mundane items into urgent necessities loaded with emotional weight. Mental fatigue, meanwhile, undermines your capacity to evaluate prices critically, resist spontaneous urges, and think beyond immediate gratification. When you're running on empty, physically or mentally, convenience stops being a luxury and starts feeling like a survival requirement. Purchases made in this state feel completely reasonable because they promise instant comfort or quick relief from discomfort. The predictable result? Inflated spending on snack foods, pre-prepared meals, and unplanned additions that never appeared on your original list. Having a meal before heading to the store and selecting a shopping window when your energy levels are adequate fundamentally changes how you assess what's in front of you. Mental clarity naturally reduces your total bill without demanding exceptional willpower. The timing of your shopping trip represents one of the most underestimated cost factors in grocery spending. Purchase for the person you actually are, not the person you aspire to become. Countless grocery purchases are driven by an idealized self-image, someone who prepares elaborate meals consistently, maintains impeccable eating habits, and never lets anything spoil. This aspirational version of ourselves feels incredibly real and motivated while navigating store aisles, but vanishes the moment everyday life reasserts itself. When normal routines return, those ambitious ingredients sit untouched. Unused food quietly deteriorates in your refrigerator without generating any emotional discomfort in the moment. Spoiled food represents capital that's already left your wallet with absolutely zero return on investment. Buying groceries that align with your actual behavioral patterns rather than idealized fantasies protects your budget. Uncomplicated meals that recur on a weekly basis minimize both waste and decision anxiety. Reliable consistency delivers far greater savings than hopeful optimism ever can. Cut down on convenience charges before you compromise on product quality. Pre-sliced, pre-cooked, and grab-and-go food items extract a premium for eliminating minor time investments. While the quality might seem comparable or even superior, the value proposition almost never justifies the markup. Convenience packaging conceals its real cost through incremental price increases that rarely register as significant. When these small markups repeat with every weekly shopping trip, they quietly balloon your grocery expenses. Accumulated over months, convenience transforms into one of the largest stealth expenses embedded in food budgets. Purchasing whole, unprocessed ingredients returns both control and adaptability to your hands. Control diminishes the anxiety surrounding food expenditures. A modest increase in preparation effort frequently eliminates a substantial amount of financial waste. Evaluate cost per standardized unit, not the sticker price alone. A cheaper shelf price doesn't automatically translate to superior value. Manufacturers deliberately manipulate packaging and portion sizing to make direct comparisons challenging. Bulk options may carry intimidating upfront costs, but frequently deliver dramatically lower per-use expenses. Smaller packages create an illusion of affordability and safety, yet routinely cost more when calculated over time. Unit pricing cuts through the confusion instantly, revealing actual cost with perfect transparency. This single habit replaces ambiguity with precision. Precision eliminates hesitation at the shelf. Reduced hesitation means fewer reactive, impulse-driven decisions. Restrict how often you visit the store, not what you're allowed to purchase. Each trip to the grocery store represents a fresh exposure to temptation and opportunities for unplanned expenditure. Wandering through aisles increases your vulnerability to marketing techniques specifically engineered to activate impulse buying behaviors. Frequent visits compound minor, unplanned purchases that never feel problematic in isolation. Over weeks and months, these seemingly trivial additions aggregate into substantial financial loss. Decreasing shopping frequency reduces exposure to these triggers rather than demanding constant willpower. Strategic planning replaces perpetual decision making. Fewer decisions translate to fewer errors. Diminished exposure naturally results in lower grocery bills. Rely on straightforward meals to create spending stability. Elaborate recipes demand more components, more preparation steps, and more chances for ingredients to go unused. Each additional ingredient escalates costs while reducing flexibility. Straightforward meals enable ingredients to serve multiple purposes across consecutive days. This repetition minimizes unused food and forgotten purchases sitting in the back of shelves. Familiar, uncomplicated meals also reduce decision fatigue during hectic periods. Less fatigue means fewer impulse purchases driven by mental exhaustion. Simplicity generates routine. Routine is the foundation that stabilizes grocery spending across time. Isolate your grocery funds from your general spending pool. When grocery money flows freely within your overall budget, boundaries dissolve rapidly. Small additions feel inconsequential because they disappear into broader expenses. By month's end, Tracking down where these extras went becomes nearly impossible. Creating a dedicated grocery fund establishes both visibility and structure. Visibility heightens awareness precisely when purchase decisions are being made. Awareness naturally reduces accidental overspending. Defined categories safeguard your progress without requiring active monitoring. Organization preserves money before your discipline is even put to the test. Embrace imperfect savings rather than wasted food. Pursuing flawless grocery savings generates counterproductive pressure. That pressure encourages over-purchasing and unrealistic meal planning. Once food ends up wasted, the money has already disappeared. Minimizing waste delivers greater savings than hunting for perfect bargains. Actually consuming what you purchase matters infinitely more than purchasing at optimal prices. Imperfect savings still propel you forward with consistency. Progress accumulates through repetition over time. Food that gets eaten is money that's been honored and respected. Monitor what you discard, not merely what you spend. Most grocery budgets fail through quiet waste rather than obvious overspending. Expired food constitutes invisible loss that doesn't generate immediate pain until the cumulative impact becomes undeniable. Tracking what ends up in the trash exposes behavioral patterns with remarkable speed. These patterns illuminate exactly what items no longer deserve space on your shopping list. Eliminating waste directly reduces spending without imposing restrictions. Measurement creates awareness. Awareness automatically enhances decision quality. Less waste means more capital remains in your possession. If reducing your grocery expenses genuinely matters to you, select just one technique from this video and implement it immediately. Don't attempt to overhaul everything simultaneously. Drop a comment sharing which specific step you're committing to this week. Hit subscribe for additional realistic, sustainable money guidance that respects your actual life circumstances. And thank you for investing your time here.